Hello there.
Ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
I can hear my echo. Let me turn myself down just a little bit. You know what? It is so exciting. I know for those of you who might be online, it may have been a little awkward, yet I feel the energy. We're here in Gulf Beaches today, and there is so much energy sitting right in that room behind Michael. Hey, if you can hear me, give us a cheer for starting off a live sales meeting. Yay! We've got, I don't know, a lot of agents down there. So that's so exciting. And we're just happy to be here. Michael, we've already filled the buckets live. What is next?
We want to make sure that we're moving through and welcoming some of the new agents here within our market centers. So we just want to say thank you to a lot of them are actually downstairs right behind me. I feel like this is like, before an NCAA game, right? Like people are right behind me, looking at, and we're able to see so many of the people who have joined. So we just want to say welcome to Carrie, Peter, Justin, Kelly, Anna, Tony, Melissa, Scott, Trisha, Matt, Sheila, Leah, Gigi, Diana, Gigi, and Elizabetta. These are people who've joined us, and we have even more people. These are the people who joined us in the month of April. And so if you've joined in the month of May, then we're definitely going to welcome you in the month of June. But I love seeing so many people. As you know, we just started Ignite Back. We're going to talk about that in a few slides, but starting Ignite Back in person for the first time in 15 months has definitely been a change in energy. I joked with Rachel yesterday. When we first made the transition to Zoom, it was really draining pouring into a computer because you just got no response back. You got no laughs, you got no anything. You really didn't know what to do. And so now going back to being in person, I was not ready for the energy that was being in person. I think I was in bed by like 7:30 and lights out by 8:15, but I'm good now and we're ready to go. So
You needed a nap. I understand. That's what are we? We're physically based, digitally enhanced.
Absolutely. Yep.
There we go.
Things obviously like this online as we transition to make sure that we're always providing for everyone. I think one of the biggest things that we discovered during COVID was there is value to being digital, right? We've got agents who, are out in the field. They're doing what it is that they need to do, and they can't always necessarily get back to the market center. Yet there are people who want to hug and they want to see people and they want to interact with people and they want to have coffee and do things together. My coffee's up on the second floor. And it's under those things of just, really doing it. And so we want to make sure that we're providing great value to everybody, whether they are in our market center or not, but we're definitely excited to be moving back to a physical presence.
And Michael, even though you and I are both here in Gulf Beaches today, we have agents in Seminole, we have agents in St. Pete, and our leadership team is there to facilitate the meeting as well. So, and I'm just going to put a plug in right now that we are doing, for the first time in a long time, a live pitch session at the end of this meeting. So don't leave. If you have deals to put together, that's how we're ending today.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it. You actually are very excited about this part. Both you and I are. We always love the data, right? We wonk out a little bit on this. And so when looking at the market update and some statistics, you've really done a deep dive in looking at these numbers. So let's go ahead and kind of get into some of those things. We've got a really great video here. Let me just make sure that we have it ready for everybody.
Ready to go.
Awesome. We always love the videos that we get from Keller Williams International. They do such a good job of making sure that we get the data out. And I think it's so interesting for us to be in such a place where, even though this is quarter 1, right, of 2021, looking at a recap of what that was going to be, kind of the end of the first full year of us kind of doing lockdown and moving forward from everything from COVID, looking at the numbers and seeing just that we didn't slow down. We definitely slowed down to speed up, but by the end of the year, there are so many of those accolades on a national level, and we know that we can have some of those things here locally.
20%, I saw 20% more sold this year from January through April, I think it was, that was quarter 1, that was January through March, 20% more sold. And in 2020, I loved the stat that we sold $1 billion a day as Keller Williams. Did you see that though? 3,000 homes a day sold, over 3,000 homes a day sold. That's just a huge number, 126 an hour, something like that. Oh, wow.
I mean, if I was to look at any of those numbers, to know that we sold $1 billion in real estate every single day, I mean, that's wildly impressive.
Yep. Absolutely. So let's get a little bit more localized here. Some things that jumped out, and we've been looking at these 4-week real estate market trends month after month. So I know most of you are used to seeing this, and it's breaking down how many active listings we have, how many pending, what sold, and then canceled and temporary off market. And what I see on this graph, and what really jumped out to me, Michael, is that what was happening 22 and 28 days ago with active listings at 71, and I want to point out, this is Pinellas County single family homes. We went from 71 active to 99 active to 134 active the next week, and then this past week 239 active. So our inventory is growing just a little bit. What does that tell you, Michael?
Well, it's 2 things. Number 1 is, we always know that spring is when we get a huge bump, right? We look at seasonality, we understand that, even though you'd think here in Florida, where we never have snow days, that we wouldn't have seasonality, we do. So we know that something happens. I mean, if you go back and you look, it hasn't even really been a full 180 days since we were looking at things that were happening in Washington, D.C., the inauguration. There was a lot of where people were a little uncertain about what was going to happen. They weren't certain with a new presidential team of what that was going to look like, right? There was a lot of uncertainty. So we see kind of the snow has thawed, the fear has thawed a bit. People are looking, it's not a fluke that people are getting the amount of money that they're getting for their property. And so we're seeing an increase both of people who feel a little bit more confident putting their property on the market, as well as this is also an inverse of looking at people who've been putting property on the market and they are pricing a little bit too far ahead of the market, which is keeping our days on market just a little bit longer.
Right. Absolutely. And then let's look at the condo market. You'll see something similar here. Our active listings, it mimics the single family. So this is consistent between both condos and single family. We've had 86 canceled and 35 temporary off market. Every time I see those numbers, I think, hey, opportunity, right? Absolutely. Opportunity. Very little price decreases in condos, only 1%. And then let's see, 21 new listings. That was this past week, right? 21 new listings.
Now, looking at those as of May 16th, right? So we're looking at some of and I know that this is, you and I actually noticed this just a little bit further. So in order for us to look at sold, we have to look at past data, right? And so you'll see there that on that right-hand side, when we're looking at sold, there's an asterisk and it says total sales in March. So it's using that as a lever for us to gauge where we are based on the trend. Are we increasing, decreasing based on the numbers, based on May 15th, right? Kind of that 15 of the month protocol. Are we on trajectory to have the same amount of closings as we did in the month of March? And you can see that with the pendings. Currently right now, it's about 675. It's trailing just a little bit, but we still have half a month left. I would assume that that's probably going to increase more of the solds than March. And then looking at our actives right now, thus far, it's still not able to catch up to all of those pendings and solds.
Right. So let's look at KWI. Oh, we've got a couple other. Go for it. I'm sorry. I was skipping ahead.
Some people have been asking and they want to know, and I know that we aren't necessarily the people who are the lenders, right? We always want to be the source of the source. We want to connect them with our lending partners and make sure that they can see what is most accurate. But looking at the average mortgage interest rate as it is right now, a 30-year fix is about 3.2%, 3.19%. And then looking at our 15-year fix, it's about 2.48%. So still, for people who might be looking at the market, they might be looking at prices and feeling like, well, the prices just keep going up and up. Why should I buy in this particular market? We really want to make sure for those people that are financing, they're understanding you're not necessarily purchasing a property at that price, you're purchasing a mortgage payment. And so, if you're able to lock in a mortgage payment at an interest rate that's as low as it is here, which is still historically low, that might be in your best interest if you're looking for a long-term investment, right? We wouldn't necessarily use these as the same tools for someone who wants to buy and flip, but for someone who's looking for a property to put on a 15 or 30 year, they'd be able to lock in at that interest rate.
Yeah.
And in forbearance, for anybody who doesn't know, there are quite a few people that are doing the forbearance program. I've actually been speaking to people that they've been doing forbearance for almost an entire year, where they have not been paying any mortgage payments at all. And that is coming due in terms of July of them to start to pay mortgage payments again. And so that entire year that they had done in forbearance is being tacked on to the end of their mortgage. That's not always the case. So we are seeing that there are a couple different indicators with mortgage companies that forbearance might be due in installments on the right now, kind of over the next year to two, or it might be just that it's tacked on to the end of the mortgage. We're understanding that about 5% of homeowners are delinquent. So, for anybody who thinks that this is deja vu of 2007 and what's happening, we definitely want to make sure that people are understanding people have equity. So even though someone might not be in a position to where they're making that mortgage payment, there's equity that's built into that home. We can have conversations with them about refinancing, about potentially cashing in that equity and doing some things financially. We just want you to have this information so that you can be having great conversations with your people. Because remember, our ultimate job is to help people build wealth through real estate. And so we want to make sure that they have the tools in order to do that.
I love to, on this, dig into our local market as well and our local market centers. I don't have median prices to base off on our multi-year trends, and that was what I was using. However, I do have average prices. And our three market centers combined, if you combine all three of them, our average price from 2021 was $382,000, and our average price, and I took each unit and made sure I was getting apples to apples here. Our average price is now $459,500, so $460,000. So that's an increase of $77,000 in our average price point, an increase of 20%.
I mean, I remember it was just 3-4 years ago that our average sales price was like $286,000. Mm-hmm. So it has just exploded in terms of equity for people's homes. And quite frankly, that is reason for certain pause. And we want to make sure that when you have people in your world that are having hesitation, it's not just to have an objection handler so that you can overcome them and put them into a financial situation that's not going to be advantageous. We want to make sure that you know how to speak educated around these topics to inform them, give them the data so that they can make the best informed decision for them and their family. And with that, you've got some numbers from KWRI.
Yes, so these are our KWR International, what has been closed. And this is for the month of April. So you're seeing month over month, April over April, and then year to date over year to date percentage change. So obviously our closed units are up 30%. Month over month, 21% year to date. Our closed volume up 52% month over month. Of course, we're talking about April, the first full month of the pandemic last year, right? So just a little asterisk there in the history books. Yet year to date, 40% up. Listings taken. Okay, every time we look at numbers like this, we have things to celebrate and we can see opportunity. And this is the line that I'm paying attention to most. Listings taken. We're up for international up 6% and down year to date 4.6%. Do you guys remember that phrase? And I know I've said it over and over again. I know Michael said it over and over again, and Rachel said it over and over again. And it's often quoted, yet it was so poignant and made so much sense. When Gary Keller said, "We're losing so slowly, we think we're winning." And this units taken, we're talking about units here, and this is where we can tell if we're taking market share or losing market share. And so that's a number to pay close attention to. Listings taken volume were up 19.2% and then 4.8 year to date. Listings sold up 31.22 year to date. Listings sold volume up 53%, 41%. So we are selling the listings we're taking, aren't we? And a huge, obviously, if we look at absorption rate, they're going on the market selling, going on the market selling. Contracts went up 24%, and that's 16% year to date. Contract written volume is up 47%. So these the disparity in the difference between the units and the volumes is showing that increase in price that we were just talking about in average price. So that's up 47% volume and 35% year to date, and then closed GCI. Oh my gosh, you are making 50% more month over month and 37.8% more year to date over year to date. So some of the numbers over to the side, you can see that the Pinellas Chadwick group, so our closed volume is up 17.74%. Our closed units is up 12.5%. So a little off what we have done internationally with KWRI. Before we go talking about this next point, though, I just want to tell you, if you had every one of our 3 market centers next to this, let's see, Seminole. I see this is a multi-year trend. If you don't know what it is, come to the ALC meeting at the Gulf Beaches office today at 3. We're going to be reviewing our top agents multi-year trend. I love them. You can see I have notes all over them. I dissect them. I circle them. I highlight them. I do my own calculations. I love multi-year trends. I do geek out on numbers. So my point, though, is that if we compared Seminole to this, of the 9, there's 9 categories, 18 numbers here. Seminole beat Keller Williams Realty International in 11 out of 18 of these numbers. We are leading Keller Williams International. St. Petersburg, downtown, is beating 12 out of 18 of these numbers. And I will say the only numbers that we're really not beating them on those 2 market centers is listings taken. So that's where we need to focus our energy, listings taken. And then Gulf Beaches, okay, proud mama moment. 18 out of 18 categories, we are beating Keller Williams Realty International. So I am so pleased with those numbers, just to say that here are the trends, here's what's happening, and that we're looking at that. And again, we're going to look at opportunities, right? So I love this number, 248 units sold in Pinellas, 306 units sold by KW, 2,142 opportunities.
And so I think what's very important, we're looking at closed units, closed volume. We see that those numbers are up. We're competing against KWRI. We're competing against our region. We know what that looks like in terms of being up. And I think the numbers are showing. So our agents are doing the work, right? I mean, they're selling the houses, but what this is saying to me is that their efforts are focused on building a large list of buyers, so that when the listings happen, I mean, they're closing units. But if we look at our listings taken, what would it look like? I was having this conversation with DJ Susie, and we're talking about buyers and sellers and some other things. And one of the main things that I think of is the real agent that can take full advantage, can take their unfair share, is going to be the agent who has the list and the resource of qualified buyers who are looking for properties, and they actively go out and they find the listings to match what their buyers are looking for, and double siding consistently over and over and over again, because those are the individuals that are going to take their unfair share. They're not waiting for inventory to come on the market. They say, I've got 9 buyers. I know exactly where they're looking for. My lead generation activities are going to be in those neighborhoods, knocking on doors, having conversations, picking up the phone, saying, I have a buyer for your house. what price do you become a seller, right? Those are the real people that are going to be able to take their unfair share. And we can see it in the numbers. We're doing the work. Are we doing the work in listing so that we can also be taking market share is the next step for everybody.
If you haven't yet watched the Denise Antonowitz class on exclusive listings, go back and watch that video, having that opportunity to put two deals together before it goes to market. And I just loved her transparency about it, her own message in her own head about if she was doing the right thing for her client or not, and the responses that she got from her clients. And just the logistics of what each form means and what you can use it for. You have the opportunity today, reminder, to pitch your listings at the end of this and put deals together. And wouldn't you like to work with Keller Williams agents that know how to negotiate contracts, make sure that everything gets taken care of, and is going to work for a win-win deal? So there's my plug there.
Wonderful. Well, Kristen, it's awards time.
It is.
So let's go ahead and get into it. We're starting with the Gulf Beaches Market Center. You want to go ahead and take it away, Kristen?
Yeah, yes, and I want to set this up. We've changed things around. We got to keep you on your toes. We're doing it in a different order, and you're going to find a new category. So you might see some teams missing from a couple of slides. Don't worry. Wait to the end. We've got a new category that we are going to celebrate today. So for Keller Williams Gulf Beaches, in our groups, the Orange Solutions took 6 units. Teams, Manley and Buns Group, yes, that is their name, Manley and Buns Group, took 4 units. And in the individual category, Jill Helgren crushed it with 6 units. For GCI, the Orange Solution was 66,723. Snyder Group International took 65,550. I love that number. And individual, the rock star Dawn Fader in that camera behind you, I know, with $85,280. Woo-hoo! With highest list price, Jennifer Orange took a $1.5 million listing. Highest price closing, the Lockhart Walseth team closed a $1.250 million listing. And then I'm going to go up to KW Cares. We want to celebrate those who donate. Mark Bassrap, Lonnie Orange, Jennifer Orange, all giving $300 to KW Cares. We appreciate you giving back. And then for our hat trick. Okay, what is a hat trick, Michael?
3 closings in one day.
And how do you get it?
Schedule them all on the same day.
You guys get so sick of us saying the same thing every week, month. All right, so but these people were so smart, though, and they did it, and all from the same team. Tara Kipp, Jennifer Orange, Lonnie Orange. Congratulations. And then first listing, I'm not so sure about this. I should have caught that one. I'm pretty sure Julie's taken more listings than this, but we'll just celebrate her anyway because she took a listing. Okay, sorry I missed that one. Go ahead, next. So for our closed units, the Orange Solutions closed 7 units in the month of April. Our home team, Drew Carlisle, 4 units. And then individuals, Candace Johnson, Jason Hayes, and Jill Helgren all took 5 units each. The trifecta right there. So our closed volume for a group, the Orange Solution closed $2.5 million. I'm rounding up. There's a lot of numbers here, so thank you for letting me round up. $2.5 million in the month of April. For our teams, third place, Manley and Buns Group, $1,175,000. Second place, our home team with $1,253,000, and Snyder Group International with $2,555,000. And then our individuals in third place, we have Jason Hayes crushing it this month with $2.818 million. Don Fader in second place with $3,085,000 closed. And in first place, Mark Bassrap with $3,191,000. Congratulations, you guys. Fantastic month of April.
Great job. For our cappers and our home runs, right? So we've got Cheryl Cacciatore, who capped. So for those of you, just as a reminder, this is now earning 100% commission for their anniversary year with Keller Williams. Michael DiGiovanni, Don Fader, Jason Hayes, John Holenhurst, who is a first-time capper, so we want to definitely say congratulations to John. Antonio Rabrina and Joe Snyder all capped in the month of April. For our home runs, we have Brandon Barreto. Before we even go into this, Kristen, what's a home run?
A home run is having a closing, taking a listing, and going under contract all in one month, not necessarily all in the same property.
And like we talk about, this is really when we talk about a scoreboard, which is what we've been talking about on Reedy and Red, to kind of look at your business and say, what are the results? What am I seeing that are going to yield to a consistent, healthy, profitable business? It's going to be one where you're consistently taking a listing, going under contract, and having a closing every single month. So shout out to Brandon Barreto, to the Manley and Buns group, to Candace Johnson, who is killing it after just having a baby. I mean, oh my goodness. Don Fader, Drew Carlisle, Isabel Ivanoff, Jason Hayes, Jennifer Orns, Jill Helgren, Joe Snyder, Maggie Brazil, Mark Basarep, Michael DiGiovanni, and my wall partner here, Miss Stacy Allen.
Awesome. All right, we're going to congratulate KW Seminole agents now for listings taken. The Sandy Hartman Group with 4 units taken, Kerbabeel Homes with 2 units, and Susan Blakely with 4 units taken. Congratulations to all of you. Highest price listing, Sandy Hartman took the Sandy Hartman Group took a $1,355,000 listing, and highest price closing goes to the same with $1,350,000 closing. I wonder if that was the same house. I'm always curious. $5,000 off, maybe not, I don't know. For GCI, woo, the Sandy Hartman Group raking in $121,773. Kerbabeel Homes with $48,912, and individual Lisa Lucas killing it with $34,850. We've got some home runs, so they did all 3 of those activities in the month of April. Joe Bennett, Maggie Livingston, Susan Blakely, Kerbabeel Homes, the Sandy Hartman Group, and Wally Winzenant. And our first closing goes to Corey Briggs for having his first closing. We've got cappers. You want to do the cappers, Michael? Go for it.
Sure. So we got Trish Bannister. We had Laurie Chase, Ryan Kirby, Mustafa
Lakadawala,
and Wally Wiesnat, and then KW Cares. So for people to understand just a quick bit, at Keller Williams, you've got 2 opportunities to give back. We've got KW Cares and we have Agents in Need. So on every single DA, when you're in the commissions tab, you have the ability to donate. So number 1, these are 501c3s, right? So having the ability to do that with KW Cares is understanding that anytime, and for those of you that might not have been around since a national disaster or something that's happened, Keller Williams International jumps in whenever there is an earthquake or flooding or a massive fire. We actually have semis, and we have an operational budget for that nonprofit is somewhere around 30 to 40 million each year that goes right into the communities they're able to help. We also have agents that when things happen, whether a family member gets cancer and they need to be able to do things for treatment and moving forward, that is something that they can use for KW Cares. If something happens to their own family, their own health, their own housing, that's something that can happen with KW Cares, as well as Agents in Need. So Agents in Need is another fund that we have that's for agents in need within our office, right? Some of those special circumstances, some things that have happened, we've had opportunities to be able to step in and help people really when they were in a time of need. And so, you know, when you make those donations after each transaction, that's why we honored the donations here, is because we realize that that is such an integral part of our culture, is that we have each other's back. We're here, we want to make sure that everybody is elevated and lifted up together, and that if ever you're knocked down, you know that you have your KW family behind you. So thank you, Sandy Hartman, for your KW Cares donation.
Beautifully said, Michael Reedy. Moving on to closed units, we've got the Sandy Hartman Group with 11 units closed. Kerbabeel Homes with 7 units. Ryan is texting me as we speak. He's crushed it this past month. Wally Winzenat with 3 units. A hat trick goes to Sandy Hartman Group. We've got closed volume. First place, the Sandy Hartman Group with $4,508,230. And for our teams, we have first place with Kerbabeel Homes, $2,020,800. And then for individuals, in third place, we have Robert Evans with $715,000 closed. Second place, Lisa Lucas with $925,000 closed. And first place goes to Wally Winzenat with 975,000 closed. Missing a zero there, but that's okay. Moving.
Absolutely. And I think what's so important is we're talking about, this is not like from January through April, right? We are just talking about in the month of April. And so we love seeing our agents that are building careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, right? Experiences worth giving and legacies worth leaving. And this all comes from making sure that we're running profitable businesses. So some of those things, looking at our downtown Keller Williams office with listings taken. We actually have a tie between the Antonowitz home team and the Becky McConnell group. It's like the most loving rivalry that could possibly be, a much healthy competition of always getting and doing as much as possible. So congratulations to both of them for taking 4 listings in the month of April. For teams, we have the Kathy Stange team with 3 units taken. And then for individual, we have a tie between Denise Brown and Jennifer Thayer, both with 4 units as well taken. Congratulations to both of you. And I know that Denise has been working hard, sending out her letters, working with investors and doing some of those things. So congratulations on seeing your name on there, Denise. For our first listings, we had Vivica and Michael, both of which took their first listings. Congratulations on helping to take your market share and use those as an opportunity. Kristen, you've been in plenty of times for me to talk about, one of the greatest things about taking a listing is that you have 5 opportunities to really just squeeze the life out of that listing, right? We have coming soon. We have just listed, we have open house, under contract, and just sold. We have an opportunity, 5 opportunities after every single listing for you to make sure that those neighbors, that your sphere, that the people that you're communicating know that you are doing a service, you're getting them what they're looking for, and you can do the same thing for those neighbors and friends. So congratulations to you two on your first listings. For GCI, this is gross commission income, right? This is income earned in the month of April. I want to say congratulations to the Antonowitz home team that in the month of April racked in a good $334,203 of income. For the Kathy Stange team, took in $58,463 of income. And for the individuals, we have Jennifer Thayer, who brought in $179,134 in the month of April alone. Congratulations to Jennifer Thayer, which, if you don't know, that on the sales meeting, every single meeting, and definitely for the downtown office, is a shout out to Jennifer Thayer for just always just doing everything that she can for our clients. Highest price closing at $1.85 million, and highest price listing, look at that number, a $6.1 million listing right here in the Tampa Bay area. Thank you, Kevin Cottrell, for your donation to KW Cares. And for our first closings, we want to say a huge shout out to Jay Widman, Jordan Hager, Joyce Woodson, and Michael Kimbrough, who all took their first closing in the month of April. And then hat trick, Denise Brown's on there. We have the Yes Homes team, Jenna Malwani, Becky McConnell, and the Jack Smith team. All did a hat trick with 3 closings in one day. Go ahead and take it away with closed units and closed volume.
We have the Antonowitz home team for groups with, yes, for 1 month of April, 19 units closed. Shoo! For teams, the Huffman, Capon, and Associates, 5 units closed, and Jennifer Thayer, individual, 6 units closed. Jennifer is always taking that top spot on our region for North Florida region as well. So congratulations on that. So closed volume for a group, 3rd place goes to my friend, the Jack Smith team with $5,220,922. 2nd place are Yes Home teams with $7,210,497. And then 1st place, the Antonowitz home team, Denise and her crew, with $12,932,800 in the month of April. Woo! Talk about a millionaire real estate agent month. Team, 3rd place, the Fig team with $1,412,500. The 2nd place for Huffman and Capon and Associates, $1,934,847. And then 1st place goes to our lovely Kathy Stange team with $2,042,900. Congratulations to all of you. For our individuals, closed volume, 3rd place, Scott Simon with $3,452,900. 2nd place, Diana Geegan, $5,386,975. And in first place, the Jennifer Thayer, $8,415,300 closed. I'm tired just looking at those numbers.
Well, and when we're talking about doing billions in closed volume, we already know that the three market centers combined do more real estate than anyone else in Pinellas County. We know that we are well over that $1 billion in closed volume as the three market centers. But I think when we're looking at these numbers, it's going to be great to look at the end of 2021 to see what agents are doing in terms of just closed unit volume and the units as well. Looking at our cappers. All right, again, these are the individuals who are now earning 100% of their money for their anniversary year. We've got Brad Bonert, we've got Joe Bracken, we've got Monica Crawford, Diana Geegan, Julia Humphrey, Chris Lampy, Annie Levine, Gina McWilliams, Kyle Sasser, Scott Simon, Brian Sprague, Kathy Stange, and Lou Zabriskie all are now earning 100% commission. And for our home runs, right, this is, again, just as a recap, these are individuals who took a listing, went under contract, and had a closing in the month of April. We've got Amber Bennett, Becky McConnell, Chris Lampy, Courtney Stein-Albrigio. We've got Debbie Watts. We've got Deb Ferguson, Denise Antonowitz, Denise Brown, Diana Geegan, DJ Susie, Eric Wilson, Genoa Fennison, Jack Smith, Jay Heidel, Jennifer Thayer, Julie Sartine, Kathy Stange, Kent Dudley, Kim Van Herwijnen, Leah Herzworm, Linda Snow, Mike Kimbrell, Monica Crawford, Pete McGann, the Yes Homes team, Ron Platt, Ryan Adamy, Scott Simon, Steve Densa, Tamisha Darling-Roberson, Tiffany Letlier, Todd Eplin, and Zach Zender, all getting a home run in the month of April.
And can I say to our cappers out there, see your MCA or agent services and make sure you get your new cap for this year.
Absolutely.
And
so
now,
expansion team, this is the new thing.
This is the new thing. We have decided that we have an expansion team and we need to celebrate them. And we're so excited to celebrate these numbers together because it is the Walseth team and the Lockhart Walseth team. They are currently in our Gulf Beaches and Seminole offices, and they have some impressive numbers out here. So let's see, listings taken, 7 units taken, closed units, 22 units taken. Closed volume, $12,835,975. Closed GCI for the month of April, $371,950. And of course, with all of that activity, they completed, I'm sure, multiple home runs. So congratulations to the Walseth team and the Lockhart Walseth team. We're so proud to be in business with you.
So Kristen, just really quickly, if someone is curious what an expansion team is, what qualifies an expansion team, and why has it even been something that other businesses have started to take on?
That's a great question. I remember Gary Keller saying that he had to grow bigger so that he could allow for a big enough business for other people to, you would say this so much better than I would, to live out their dreams and have their goals. He had to have a bigger vision than he ever needed or intended for himself so that other people could fill their goals and their visions. And that's why with Keller Williams, you can actually have a team in more than one market center. So there's an original team, and that's the hub market center, and then from there there's other teams with that same, sometimes it's the exact same team name, but it's the same group of people that then are starting a team in another market center. So our original team here was the Walseth team at Seminole, and then Troy got into business with the Lockhart's, Troy and Terry, and they are now the leaders of the Lockhart and Walseth team, and Troy is Chase is in Seminole, so there's now a leader there and a leader here, and they are one team though. Troy calls them the W team. So I just heard Cody Gibson talk yesterday. If you don't know who Cody Gibson is, look him up. I think he said he's in 108 market centers in the United States, and to him he's like, I'm not in the 819, or I might have that number off a little bit, that we have nationwide. So there is opportunity opportunities to expand to other markets, to other states, or just as right now what Troy's doing just across Pinellas County. So that is what an expansion team is. It's an opportunity to grow a business bigger than yourself.
Absolutely. And if you are someone who either has a team or is looking to build a team, you're curious about what expansion looks like, you're more than welcome to reach out to your team leaders. You're able to reach out to myself. We'd be happy to talk to you about how that vision and that model has been kind of painted for us with Keller Williams International and expansion systems orientation. So definitely make sure that if you're interested in that information, we can get that to you so that as you're building out maybe your 3-year or 5-year plan, that can definitely be something that is included in it.
Last year, these two teams, just finish up, last year these two teams closed $96 million. And I just checked, Troy said it's cheating because it's a different time of the year. But his last 12 months, the two teams have closed $104 million. So I had to celebrate that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So this one, Kristen, you talk about this often. So tell us a little bit about profit share.
Profit share is a chance to grow your wealth and grow residual income. I just had a fantastic class with the empowerment group, and their passion behind growing profit share resulted in them giving me 20 agents' names at the end of that class that they wanted to help build, connect to Keller Williams and to the Keller Williams brokerages. So these people actually gave a referral to their team leader, and then that person subsequently chose to start their business or move their business to Keller Williams. So now they are in profit share, and this is why we have the culture we have, because when anybody wins, we all win because our profit grows. And when the profit of the market center grows, it gives us all the opportunity to grow our passive or residual income. So it's willable, inheritable. There's no risk that you're going to lose money in the stock market. I used to be a stockbroker. You could put money in one day and then it'd be gone the next. You just get a check every month on the 21st of the check, actually a deposit. So, okay, that was my 5-second profit share class. I love this. I'm passionate about profit share, and we want to help you grow this other form of wealth. Because, Michael, how many avenues of income do you need to have to build a wealthy life? You always say this.
I mean, for me, there's a minimum of 6, but it's definitely probably closer. I mean, it really just depends. It depends on how deep you go in each of those fields. One of the great things, and I love, Aaron Kaufman talks about this, who's someone who's an advocate for profit share. He calls it his 401kW, right? This idea of this dividend, it really doesn't require any financial investment into it, and it just continues to grow as people choose to partner with Keller Williams. So with that, we want to say congratulations to the following people. So Brandon Barito, Steve Capon, Brad Bonert, Kathy Stange, Ron Platt, Samantha Sill, and Debbie Egan for choosing the people that we do business with, right? And that's essentially, I think, what's the other great part about profit share is when you're out and about and you're doing a transaction and there's someone you're like, I just love their energy. I love this person. I'd love for them to be here all the time. Well, then have that conversation. They might benefit from the same things that you benefit from by being with Keller Williams.
So, Michael, time check. It's 11:48. We got a lot to go over still, and our agents are here to pitch their listings and tell their buyers' needs. So
we're going to do this real quick.
We're going to do this fast.
We're just going to do a quick graduation. Thank you to the Empowerment Coaching Program. This is Kashmir Parker and the group that she's doing. Her Sparkle team, they're actually graduating today, this afternoon. And these individuals are just people who've gone through about a 12-week system where they're utilizing information from Ignite and other tools to really get into action and ensure that we have diversity and inclusion, that it's not just something that we throw on an HR pamphlet, it's actually something that we live and breathe. So glad to see that they are here. I'm actually flying from here over to the Downtown Market Center to make sure I can see them before they graduate. And so
on that company jet that you mentioned earlier?
Yeah, the helicopter that we need, absolutely. So that is today. Training calendar. Please make sure that you're checking your weekly emails. You're looking at the closed Facebook group pages of each of the market centers. There's some really great classes. We are back in terms of Ignite being in person and also being digitally enhanced. You have a real estate career roadmap that's going to be on the 25th.
I do. And immediately following this, we have the growth committee. So if you want to learn more about growing your profit share, come to the growth committee because that's what we're going to talk about. It's on a separate Zoom link.
Absolutely. And then next Wednesday at the Downtown Market Center from 2 to 4, I'm going to be teaching my power mapping class. This is really to where you can be intentional, right? Everybody that you've known up until this point, you will service, whether it's $60,000 condo or a $6 million waterfront listing. We want to help those people. But yet from this day moving forward, you can be intentional about who you go into business, who are the people that you make connections with. And that's exactly what we do on May 26th. So looking at those classes as well as the other things that we have on our training calendar are all there to help you grow and be in productivity. That's the main thing that we want out of the things that we do. Ignite is back. Ignite is happening daily in the Gulf Beaches Market Center. It's happening Monday through Friday from 9 until noon. It happens for the next 4 weeks. Don't worry, today is only day 2. So for whatever reason you didn't know about it, it wasn't on your radar, it's something that you didn't quite plan for, you can absolutely adjust your schedule and join us, as well as it is offered via Zoom. Also, I do talk about the post-licensing aspect that comes along with it. So if you're curious about what you need to do for your 45 hours post-licensing, I will absolutely talk about it. I will not talk about it until we're in the midst of Ignite, because if you don't show up to Ignite, it really doesn't matter what I talk about with post-licensing. So you got to be here in order to earn it.
All right, we talked about this already. Live this month at the the Gulf Beaches Market Center, we will be talking about a path to earning 6-figure income. This is a great place to invite other agents who might want to learn more about Keller Williams and the opportunities to build their business.
It's also for the people that are in our market centers that are either looking to be a part of teams or they're curious about all the different things. I know when I first got into real estate, I thought that being a sales agent was the only job. I had no idea that there were transaction coordinators, there were marketing specialists, there were administrative assistants. I mean, all of the jobs, the buyer's agents, the showing is, I mean, so much of what allows this business to be as big and as profitable and as scalable as it is because it requires a whole team to really make sure that those things happen. And so, Kristen, you'll be going over that next Tuesday at 5 at the Gulf Beaches Market Center. I'm sorry. Red Day, real quick. If you were able to be at Red Day, big shout out to Roy Harris and Revisual Productions for doing our video and capturing our individuals, to understand that as a company, we all shut down, all the 800 to 900, whatever number we are now in terms of market centers, we all shut down and we go back into our community to give where we live, because we realized that we would not be in business if it wasn't for our community and our neighbors. And so it's a wonderful video. You can go on our KW Chadwick Group YouTube channel to be able to watch that video and see some of the highlights from last Thursday.
And shout out to our models, Jack Smith and Divya right there. They did a great job.
Absolutely. We've already talked about KW Cares, but just thank you all. We've donated over $1,000 to KW Cares on Red Day, on that Thursday of raising some funds and doing some great things. And I want to say thank you. I know that Mark Bassarup was around there collecting some money and doing some things. So to our culture committees and all those that are involved, thank you for making sure that it's not just about real estate, it's about relationships.
Yes, Jack and Debbie Stubbs as well. Doing a fantastic job leading culture there. Our mission is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving.
And it happens every day by the actions that you do and the people that you help serve. So understanding our vision is to be the real estate company of choice for our agents and their customers.
And our values are God, family, then business.
Our belief system is our Y4C, 2 T's, which is the win-win or no deal, integrity to do the right thing. Customers always come first. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity is ideas before results. Teamwork, together, everyone achieves more. Trust starts with honesty. Equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. We have win-win or no deal highlighted because it's so important for us to talk about that in a world of reality television that likes to make real estate look like it's this adversarial thing of contention. We know that when it's a win-win for ourselves, for the agent across the table, for both the buyer and seller, it just creates an overall experience of understanding that people are wanting to transact real estate so that they can be building their wealth.
I heard Mo Anderson yesterday say, win-win is about treating each other right. And it comes down, first of all, we're a group here, we're a family here, right? It comes down first of all to us doing the right thing for each other and considering each other. Not to quote Ellen, but go be kind. Let's be kind to each other.
And our perspective, right, is to be a technology company that provides the real estate platform that our agents, buyers, and sellers prefer. Keller Williams thinks like a top producer, acts like a trainer consultant, and focuses all its activities on service, productivity, and profitability.
We talked about this already. We just won Best Employers for Diversity from Forbes for 2021. We have so many accolades, and sometimes it's like it starts drowning out. Yet if you really think about what's powering you, what's powering your business, you get to know that you're with a company that supports women in leadership and supports equality and supports diversity, and it's a beautiful thing that we get to be a part of it. And it all starts with you guys. You here at our offices being the influence for one another, being the supporters for one another. And I am so excited that we're back live for sales meetings, for masterminds, for Ignite, because it's our culture when we come together and support each other that's what's created. It's because you guys come together and you care about each other winning. So just go out this week and continue to win for each other and win for your families and win for yourself, because that's what's going to continue to grow your business. Absolutely. And your life by design.
Thank you so much, Kristen. All right, folks, what we're going to do now, for those of you that are online, this is going to be the end of our online. Be sure to check the exclusive listing pages for your market center to see any of those upcoming listings. And the market centers themselves, we've got about 4 minutes left to be at the top of the hour. If you go a little bit over and that's what you want to do, that's completely up to you. But we want to take this time to pitch your listing. So if you have anything coming soon, if there's anything off market, if you are planning to or have a buyer's need, we want to make sure that we are all sharing that with one another so that we can be on the lookout, we can close deals in-house, and we can make sure that we get our unfair share of our market share. Bye, Kristen. I'll see you in a few minutes because you're upstairs. Bye, everybody. Hope you have a
Bye, Michael. Thank you, everyone.